everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got an exciting one for you with these commanders that deserve so much more love. What commanders are those? Well, let's jump into them. And a reminder, all these commanders are in a cardless link in the description below. Now, let's jump into them. First up, long ago, and now forgotten, but I'm bringing it back up, and you need to know about it, Torgar, Famine Incarnate. My goodness, this commander is so unique and so much fun. A 7/6 avatar for 8 mana, but you're never going to pay that. Because as this will cost to cast it, you can sacrifice any number of creatures. It's going to cost 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. And there are so many creatures out there that are just begging to be sacrificed in mono black. I mean, you've got like Bloodghast type cards that can come right back, or Reassembling Skeleton, I guess, if you want to pay like earlier essentially for it. Or you've just got a swath of creature tokens that you can make, some creature fodder out there. So basically, just pay 2 for this. And by the way, what do you get for that 2? Well, a 7/6, that's nice. More importantly, though, when it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target player's life total becomes half their starting life total rounded down. Now, this can apply in both ways. Number 1, obviously, but opponents at like 40 or even 1,000, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, ETB, and by the way, you're at 20. Ha! Also, if you've got cards like Wound Reflection that, double up life loss, you can easily one-shot someone with this commander with that effect. That being said, on the other end of things, when the game gets a little hairy at the end for you, you're like, oh no, I'm at 2 life. Oh darn, whatever will I do? Commander ETB, okay, I'm back to 20. Because you can target yourself with this, of course, so it is life gain and life loss all in one. Such a cool, unique commander, and one, well, that if you play with, free sacrifice outlets, or just like Village Rites sacrifice type effects, and some Feign Death type effects to bring it back when it dies, you can do some really spicy things with it at instant speed. Pick this one up and build around this amazing budget-friendly commander. Next up, go wide and tall at the exact same time with Tishana, Voice of Thunder, a Star Merfolk Shaman for 7 mana. In Simic, power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand. You've got no maximum hand size. When Tishana enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control. Yeah, that's quite spicy. Basically, this is one that again says, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you an insane amount of cards. Because when you enter the battlefield, if you went wide, cool, you get a bunch of cards. You get to draw. By the way, you can keep your entire hand. You get a maximum hand size. That's lovely. And by the way, based on your hand size, I'm going to be absolutely massive. Yes, this commander does cost 7. You're in green. You've got access to the best ramp. Have fun with all of that ramp. Get this commander out. Blink it a couple times because, you are in blue, of course. So utilize that. Draw an insane amount of cards, and also, yeah, you've got, good token makers in these colors as well. Go super wide, draw so many cards, hit your opponents in the face with a massive commander that, of course, can very easily become a 2-shot or even a 1-shot KO. Yeah, have fun with this one. Next up, one that I believe has been slept on ever since it was revealed, is Zoni Thousand-Eyed. I remember making the deck tech on this one and being like, my goodness, just a really cool concept for a commander. Check that episode out. A 2/3 Elf Shaman for 6 mana in Golgari. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. Am I paying 2 mana in total? You sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life, you draw a card. Okay, this is another great ETB, and kind of like Tishana, it's like, all right, ETB cares about the number of creatures, but this time in your graveyard. So, yeah, again, you're in a great color combination for self-mill, get a ton of cards into your graveyard, and all of a sudden, count those creatures up, and you go, all right, ETB, yeah, very easily go, all right, I have, 20 creatures in my graveyard, that's 20 tokens, great, good for me. Of course, Blood Artist type effects can be great for then sacrificing those tokens and draining, or maybe some Anthem type effects, some Pump type effects to make them even more effective in combat. However you want to go about that, there's plenty of great ways to take advantage of it. And again, speaking of take advantage of, like I mentioned with our very first commander I brought up on this episode, Torgar, you can also utilize sacrifice outlet type effects or Village Rites type effects to sacrifice this one while you feign death type effect it, and then all of a sudden it comes back into play when it died, and then you get the ETB again and again and again and again and again. On top of that, allowing you to just get card advantage off of this too whenever you need to sacrifice those little creatures as well. It's an amazing card. Swarm the board in absolutely no time with a Zoni and take over the game. Next up, an oldie but a goodie with new art. Solkanar the Swamp King, a 5/5 demon. For 5 mana in Grixis, Swamp Walk. Whenever a player casts a black spell, you gain 1 life. Here's the thing. Black is one of the most popular colors in Commander. It is such a good color, and it is the color of tutors. And because of that, well, with this Commander, you can tutor up certain cards that, well, turn everything into a swamp. So, or just, one thing into a swamp too. But being able to go, all right, lands now are swamps as well, that all of a sudden opens up this commander into basically just being unblockable. And having an unblockable commander is a very powerful thing, and one that does just gain you life throughout the game. And of course, there are plenty of cards out there nowadays that are like, hey, yeah, whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. That kind of marauding Blight Priest type effect, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, drain, 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 drain. You've got access to an amazing color set to really help you out with some additional pain, some additional value, some additional, well, just taking over the game, controlling type effects that allow you to just make it so that this commander even could just be the win condition for you, where you're like, all right, I'll control the board. Commander, you're unblockable. I'll give you maybe some equipment or whatever to get through, and all of a sudden, you're swinging, you're hitting, Black Blade Reforging, hitting, double strike as well. You can one-shot with someone with this. You can two-shot someone with this. You can take them out so easy with a commander like this. And again, it's an oldie but a goodie. People forgot about it a long time ago, but it's back. Play with it now. Moving on, Rolesque Apex Hybrid. Such a fun commander. A 4/5 human mutant with flying and trample for 5 mana in Simic. It's got, when it enters the battlefield, put 2 counters on another target creature you control. That's cool. I mean, that's nice. It's good. But more importantly, when it dies, proliferate, then proliferate again. Yeah, this commander can give you so much proliferation, your head will spin. And of course, there's a lot of proliferation support these days, so even more effects that can help you out. But of course, there are clones, and clones are amazing with this commander because, well, yeah, I mean, you're not exactly in the easiest color combination to utilize, LTB death triggers, basically. That's like Orzhov colors typically, but with this one, you're like, oh, actually, yeah, if I just clone this, the clone becomes a copy of it, it dies. I mean, first of all, it enters the battlefield, so I get that, put the counters on something, great, good for me, but then it dies, and yeah, I get to proliferate twice. Cool. Oh, and then I'll do it again because I've got so many clones. Yeah, you've got access to an insane amount of clones these days. You can actually make this. I mean, I was already talking about with Solkanar, a one-shot KO. You can very easily make this a one-shot KO by getting a clone into play, getting the counters on this, and then all of a sudden that clone dying and then proliferating. You can just get 4 counters every single time you do that, plus any other proliferation effects that you have, plus obviously any kind of charge effects, charge counter effects that are out there, any other kinds of effects that, depend on counters, any planeswalkers potentially. You just keep proliferating more and more and more and more and more, taking over the game with all of your counters and your clones. Next up, let's take a step in a different direction with Tajik Blade of the Legion. Now, this is one that I will say, you gotta be careful with a commander like this, okay? Because not every playgroup is okay with an insane amount of board wipes. But here's the thing, all right? Some playgroups are, and for those playgroups, well, okay, you don't even have to go to an insane amount. You can get this a reasonable amount. A 2/2 human soldier with indestructible for 4 mana in Boros. It's got whenever it and at least 2 other creatures attack, Tajik gets +5/+5 until end of turn. So this is a low-to-the-ground commander. Again, just 4 mana for this. That is indestructible, so again, hard to deal with, and it can basically just swing as a 7/7, which is a 1, out of every 3, hits, basically KO on anyone, right? It just takes 2 more hits and they're gone. Or again, if you got double strike, 1 more hit and they're gone. Or if you've got like +4/+0 and double strike, it's like, oh yeah, you're just gone. Here's the thing. You build a deck around this one with other really hard to deal with permanents, really hard to deal with creatures, indestructible creatures, creatures that can regenerate, creatures that can do this, that, and all the other things. And all of a sudden, you're like, okay, yeah, I got my creatures in play. I swing, I Wrath of God. Well, I Wrath of God first, then I swing at the sorcery. Anyways, being able to just destroy all the creatures out there and then go, oh, my commander can just swing right through. Sweet. Awesome. I'm controlling the board at the same time as smacking opponents down. Now, again, I learned my lesson from a long, long time ago with my Selenia Dark Angel deck when I was running like 15 plus 20 board wipes or whatever it was. Not every playgroup's okay with that. Maybe check with your playgroup first. And if they're not okay with that, then err on the side of caution and maybe max cap at 10, okay, when it comes to board wipes. But still, Indestructible Commander can really help you out in so many ways. Check it out and pick it up. Next up, Kangi Airy Keeper, a super unique commander, a 2/2 legend. I believe it's a bird, though. For 4 mana, in Azorius, kicker for 2 and X flying comes into play if you pay the kick cost, put X counters on it that are feather counters, because that's a very specific counter type. All birds get +1 for each feather counter on Kangi Airy Keeper. Here's the thing. Yeah, this does seem like it would be like a green type commander, right? It's like, okay, yeah, spend mana, get a commander, it gets bigger, your army gets bigger too. Cool. No, this is, Azorius, and you're going to take over the game with evasive flyers that, again, start off super tiny and become absolutely massive thanks to this. Now, you do need an interesting, deck around this one. You need to have a lot of ramp, but, of course, there are plenty of great ways to ramp in this color combination. You've got untap effects, you've got amazing things that you can do with it. And, of course, you've got proliferate effects. So, again, into those charge counter type, ever-flowing chalice type cards, you're already taking advantage of with this commander because you want to get more feather counters on it, too. So, yeah, get some evasive creatures out, some low-the-ground birds, get a bunch of mana, dump this into play, proliferate more and more and more, and swing with your evasive and really heavy-hitting army. Check it out. Moving on, an oldie but a goodie is Mira Holy Avenger, a 2/3 human cleric. I looked that one up. For 4 mana in Selesnya, flying at the end of each turn, put a counter on his Mira for each creature card put in your graveyard and play that turn. Basically, a go-wide strategy that also can go tall by saying, hey, you know what? Well, I've got a bunch of creatures in play, and if bad things happen to them, whether by my opponents taking them out or me taking them out, my commander can become absolutely massive. Again, you're in a color combination, maybe the best color combination for just flooding the board with tokens. So flood the board with creature tokens, and then all of a sudden, just for whatever reason, right before your turn, just whatever reason, you're like, hey, you know what? It's time to switch gears, okay? I'm going to sacrifice 9 of my creature tokens. Yeah, you've got plenty of them, right? That's fine. And then all of a sudden, I guess I should mention, too, to like a miscellaneous sacrifice outlet in mono white, like Fanatical Devotion, which totally exists, which is so weird in mono white, but regardless, being able to do that, and then all of a sudden, you're like, okay, yeah, my commander's got 11 power. By the way, I've got Duelist Heritage in play, swing, evasively, double strike, take you out, one-shot KO. Yeah, again, go wide, go tall, with an oldie but a goodie. Check it out. Speaking of creature tokens, King Darien. I'm not even going to try to read that Roman numeral. XLVIII. Cool. 2/3 human soldier for 3 mana in Selesnya. Someone in the comments below help me out with that. Other creatures you control get +1 by paying 5 mana in Selesnya. Put a counter on King Darien, make a 1/1 soldier creature token, and sacrifice King Darien. Creature tokens you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Now here's the thing with this one. Now, obviously, if you've got infinite mana, congratulations, good for you, awesome. You get all the creatures in the world, and you get all the counters on this, awesome, cool. That's not, now I'm going to build around it, that's okay, though, if you do. That being said, again, I just talked about with this Mira how you can just go absolutely crazy with a token strategy around a commander in Selesnya. So, yeah, make an insane amount of tokens. They all get +1, that's lovely, that's nice. But also keep in mind that kind of combining this with like a Tajik type strategy, you can make it so that your creatures, are just protected. You can sacrifice this whenever you need to go, all right, you know what? Just stick around. Creature tokens, my army is fine. So if someone else tries to board wipe, you protect your army. If you tried to board wipe, you're like, you know what? I'm going to cast Wrath of God, but I'm also going to sacrifice King Darien so my army stays alive and your armies don't. And now I swing through and you're all gone. You can do so many exciting things with this one. There are plenty of ways to get this one back into play. And of course, yeah, it's low to the ground. You can ramp a ton. You can keep getting it back again, again, again. Repeat board wipe protection. What's not to love about that? And finally, Sten, Paranoid Partisan. This, out of all the commanders I've talked about this episode, has got to be the most powerful commander. A 2/2 human wizard for 2 mana in Azorius. Enters the battlefield as a card type other than creature or land. Land would be funny to choose, but I don't know why they even say you can't choose land, because lands. Anyways, I don't know why they choose that. Anyways, spells you cast with each other type cost 1 less to cast. Pay 3 mana in total. Exile Sten. Bring it back at the end step. Here's the thing with this one. Yeah, being able to pick any card type and go, I reduce the cost of that is insane. On the commander from the command zone for just 2 mana. It's just absolutely crazy being able to go, here's the number 1 pick. Artifacts. Yeah, artifacts are something that can be incredibly broken because, they have generic costs for the most part. And when you take that cost down to, well, nothing, they're free to cast. And all of a sudden you can do absolutely crazy bonkers things. You're in a good color combination, take advantage of just casting artifacts again and again and again, an insane amount of times, back to the back to your hand, replaying them, getting ETBs. You can do some absolutely crazy broken things with this one. It is so much fun. Again, cost reduction out of command zone that you can actually protect it and then maybe reset and change, whatever you need with it too. You can. Or yeah, you can go spell sling. You can go a bunch of different ways. But yeah, artifacts, grossly amazing commander that definitely deserves more love. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.